right, so I've come in here. This is the北平館Restaurant. I've come here many times before, and I always thought to myself, you know what, I would love to come here, film a video, and now I've finally arrived. And I've chosen an absolute smorgasbord of delicious looking food here, a lot of which is actually something called Xiao, which people in Taiwan will of course be familiar with. It's basically where you order these tiny little plates of dishes. And what I love about that is you can just literally choose anything you want, all kinds of different vegetables, meats, other interesting foods that we'll get to in a second. But first, I have to start with the creme de la creme, which is of course the xiaolongbao, because it's one of my favorite things in Taiwan. And here, they actually have a beef version of the xiaolongbao. Okay, so let's get started here before they get too cold, because xiaolongbao are best served warm. Basically small meat buns with a little bit of soup inside. So I'm just gonna dip this here, make sure I get some of that red chili oil, the soy sauce, piece of ginger. Really, really good. That is so good. So the coating on these ones here are a little bit thicker than what you might find at somewhere like Din Tai Fung, but I actually like it. It's nice and hearty. And the beef, I find, for me, it's a little less greasy than the pork might be. That is just an excellent little beef bao there. Oh, that's so good. And I just love drenching it into all that nice red chili oil there. Gives it a little bit of a spicy kick, and the ginger kind of makes it refreshing. That's really nice. So when you take that bite, it just explodes in your mouth with all this great flavor. So again, this is one I want to eat warm. This is the beef fried bun. So it's probably gonna be a little bit like the xiaolongbao, but I just love the size of these ones. And I fell in love with them in Dajia. Maybe some of you saw my 36-hour around Taiwan video, where I had some of the pork fried buns like this. And let's see how it compares down here in Kaohsiung. Wow. So this is just jam-packed with meat, as you can see. A ton of beef in there. And I believe they're chives, which add kind of a nice green, oniony, crunchy kick to it. That is so good. So of course, I'm going to be dipping that into my delicious sauce there. I think that is going to be delicious. You don't want to eat too many of these things in a day because they're a little bit heavy, but definitely adding that ginger there makes the difference and cuts down on some of the oil maybe. Look at the oil dripping off that thing. That is gonna be so good. Okay, and now we're going to dig into some of the Xiao. So just let me introduce. This is lotus root. So lotus is a very beautiful flower. It grows in the water, and the roots are very, very much edible. And I just love the way they look. They're kind of filled with all these little holes. I guess that's where the seeds would have gone. Whoa. Very crunchy. The texture reminds me a little bit of a water chestnut, which is something that I like to eat in Canada. Yeah, just crunchy, not too much flavor. I think they put a little bit of sesame oil on it. Probably in between bites of the meat buns, you could probably have this just to kind of cleanse your palate and refresh your taste buds a little bit. Next up, this is the kugwa, so bitter melon. A lot of people don't like it because it actually is quite bitter, but let me just taste that. I'll be the judge. This one is particularly bitter, actually. I might need to dip that in some of my sauce here. Apparently quite nutritious though. I think there's probably a bunch of minerals and vitamins in there that kind of give it that really bitter taste. Yeah, you definitely need to eat it with the soy sauce. That makes a world of difference. Such a strange little vegetable. Okay, so next up we have something that I'm sure people in Canada haven't really tried. This is sliced pig ear, ju erdo, and it's one of my favorite Xiao dishes, actually. So let's give this a shot. Let's see how it lives up to some of my other favorite erdo places. Okay, so it actually has a really smoky flavor. I'm sure they slice the pig ear and then they smoke it somehow, because that is just chock full of this delicious smoky flavor covered in some kind of oil, maybe sesame oil again. Really chewy texture, not something I'm used to. It's almost a bit like a jerky, like a smoked bacon or something like that. It's really nice. Yeah, so you can see there just how thinly sliced that is, almost like bacon. And then they serve it with a nice crunchy green onion for a little bit of texture there. That is really, really nice. One of my all-time favorite dishes in Taiwan. Okay, we are getting close to the end here. And this is something that I love. I've always loved liver. And this is pork liver smothered in chili oil, a little bit of ginger, and what looks to be really thinly sliced chili peppers. So let's give that a big bite. You have to be really careful with this stuff at restaurants, because if the restaurant serves it and it's not really that fresh, it's like horrible. It's dry and the edges are just dried out and not appetizing. So you really want it to be as fresh as possible. I'm telling you, this is fresh. This is one of the best ones that I know about in Kaohsiung. So it's got that nice, almost like crunchy yet chewy texture to it, and the inside of the liver, especially on the nice thick pieces, is just creamy, and it's got that gamey, livery taste, which I love. And of course, liver is super healthy for you, chock full of micronutrients, vitamins, and you know, it's not too fattening. This is awesome. Okay, I think they're actually closing up soon, so I gotta go. This is my last dish, which is something that I love. They mix dogan with tiny little fried fishes, smallest little fishes you could imagine. They're smaller than sardines, certainly. Nice and crispy. They put some kind of sweet sauce on it, but they're definitely dried and salted. So they're very salty, very flavorful, sweet with the sauce, and then the dogan is like a dried tofu, like a really hard, dense tofu, and it picks up the flavor of that fish as well. These two things go perfectly together. And then of course, served with more crunchy green onions. So what I like to do is just get a huge, big bite of everything together like that and just go for it. Yeah, so I think that's about it today. Just short little food video for you guys. One more thing before you go. Do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to my channel, get those numbers up. And if you would, subscribe to me on Instagram. I post a ton of pictures on my Instagram. I do Instagram stories. I'll put all this on my Instagram, all these food pictures. So go follow me over there. Would really appreciate that. But this restaurant is Beiping Dian. I'll put the address right down below. You have to come check it out. Really, really fresh, great food. The owners are very, very nice, very helpful. And Beiping, actually, that's the old traditional name for Beijing, which leads me to believe that this food comes from the northern parts of China, traditionally. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish my meal here. Probably have to take some of it home to eat later. Thank you guys for watching this video. And as always, I will see you very soon. Take care.